last live stream I believe I did was when we lost another Patriot, Patricia Dixon. Yeah, guys, I gotta do a better job of staying in touch. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this short. I'm sure you guys have probably seen I don't know, hundreds if not thousands of videos in your feed over the last few days as it relates to Charlie Kirk. Man, I don't know what to say. I'm still pretty emotional about it. It's been tough, you know. And for those that don't know, I actually met Charlie Kirk a few times. The first time I met him was in DC. We went out there for the Young Black Leadership Summit. Some of you will remember this. And at the time, I didn't really know him that well. I just knew Candace Owens. So I went there, and they were in the Trump Hotel, I think, Trump International Hotel. And I go over to try to take a picture with Candace, and we were trying to do a selfie or whatever. And Charlie walks over to me, and he's like, "Hey man, what's your name?" Like, it's the first time I meet him. He's like, "What's your name?" So I told him, "Yeah, my name's Mike. I'm here for the leadership summit." He's like, "You trying to take a selfie?" He's like, "Give me your phone. I'll take it." And so he took the selfie because he was a tall dude, much taller than me and longer arms, everything. So, you know, that first interaction with him was just positive, man. Like, he was nice, he was kind, he was personable. He just had like a really good energy to him, right? And I think it's important to let that be known because there's so many narratives about him as a person, right? He's been called white supremacist and sexist, misogynist, all these things, these slanderous things. Well, I'm telling you, and anybody out there who thinks that they know who he was or how he was, that's not the case at all. He was a very, very kind person, and you could just tell that from the time that you first meet him. I met him a few other times too. I had his phone number as well. But where I actually kind of feel some remorse, and I really felt this on Wednesday, is after he was pronounced dead. I was just kind of reflecting on the time, and some of you will remember this too, where I went to the Turning Point event and I wasn't let into the White House. It didn't make any sense to me, but I was really upset because I had flown out there. I took my nephews out there. Charlie Kirk actually paid for their flights to go out there from Colorado too, so another amazing thing that he did. But I was upset that I couldn't get into the White House, and I made a live stream or a video saying I would never go to a Turning Point event again. And I sort of held animosity towards Charlie and his organization. And then about a year later, Trump did a rally in Orlando, which is the next time that I saw Charlie. Actually, that would be I think maybe the last time I saw him. Anyhow, I was with my buddy and we walk over to him, and that was his first time seeing Charlie. He wanted to take a picture with Charlie, and I didn't want to because I was still bitter and salty about what happened in DC. And I reflect on that and I feel bad. Like it wasn't his fault. I shouldn't have taken it out on him. It's not like I was hostile towards him, but I just didn't want to talk to him at that time. So, you know, I'm sorry, Charlie. Like I didn't mean to take that out on you. But anyhow, guys, I will not be able to get out of my mind the images that I saw on Wednesday. Like, what's crazy about this, y'all? This is what's really crazy and ironic. The day that Trump got shot last year, I just happened to be sitting in my car in a parking lot. I was actually doing DoorDash at the time, so I needed a break. So I was just sitting in my car and looking through my phone, and then I look on Twitter, and then I saw what happened to Trump. Fast forward to this year, I was leaving the office, my corporate job, and I'm sitting in a parking lot just kind of reflecting on life and different things, and I happened to open up my news feed, and it was within minutes of the shooting actually happening. So it's just weird weird, ironic that I happen to be like seeing it as it unfolds, like as the news unfolds. And man, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can't believe that the video apparently is still online. I guess it kind of makes sense. People save it and upload it. It's just, why would anybody want to see that ever again? And he didn't deserve it, man. He didn't deserve that shit. He just did not deserve it. Not to go out like that, especially, you know. I mean, there's so many things I could talk about as it relates to this, like the celebration, like the demonic celebration of one of God's children being taken. You have to be a demon to celebrate that. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't care if it was Hillary Clinton. I would not care. If I saw someone get murdered on camera, I'm not going to celebrate it. I'm just not. I don't care who it is. It's not, you know, it's not something I can celebrate personally. Now, there are obviously people who probably deserve the electric chair and things like that, but I don't celebrate it. I'm just like, you know what? Hey, but this dude was murdered for his speech, for talking. You know, and there's also narratives too about his killer. Like, was he left wing? Was he right? We also saw Israel's behind it. I can't even go there, because it just takes away from the fact that we lost a man of God, a family man, 2 kids. My kids are under the age of 5, similar to Charlie's kids. I think his kids are, I don't know how old they are, but I think they're both under 5. So it hit me extra hard. You know, when I went home that night, I gave my kids a hug, and I was just grateful that I got to go home to my kids that night. But that's it. I mean, there's more I can say, but like I said, I just wanted to keep this super short, because there's just so much going on right now. There's still a lot to find out about the killer, and we don't know. We just don't know, guys. But all I know is he's walking with the Lord now. That's something I can say with confidence. You know, on my political journey, and for those of you who have followed my work from the beginning, you will recall that there were 4 people that I met along my political journey that came into my life, or I crossed paths with them, and they were all children of God, like people with like real faith, and they've all been taken away. They've all passed away since. I think the first person that passed away that I know was Maureen. Now, she was a flag waver when I was doing the flag waving down in Florida, and she was just a woman of God. She gave me a book to read to my son. I guess it was like a faith-based book, and we talked about faith a lot. And then she passed away suddenly. You know, Zoe from Right Side Broadcasting. The very first time I met Zoe, we talked about faith. We talked about the Lord. We talked about Jesus Christ as we were on a boat cruise or boat parade thing for a Trump event. And she passed away suddenly back in 2022. Then Patricia Dixon last year passed away suddenly. She was a woman of faith. I got to have her on my channel. And now this year, Charlie Kirk. And I'm not saying it means something. I don't know if it means anything at all, but it's just something that I think about, right? Like, how could I not? Like, we've lost some patriots that I've gotten to know personally that were all very good people and children of God. And, you know, to kind of bring it back to Charlie, I think that what he was doing, he had to be covered in the blood of Jesus to be going into the lion's den, right? Enemy territory, if you could call it that. It's like college campuses where people were hostile towards him, where there was always going to be a threat of someone attacking him, or, you know, a protest getting out of hand. And he had security for that reason. It's just unfortunate that things went down the way they were, that they did go down. But I don't think he was afraid. I think he just kind of knew that that came with the territory. One of the scariest things you could do is be a truth teller that follows Jesus Christ, because the persecution is real out here. Um, but I see a lot of people are in the chat right now. I appreciate you guys for watching this. I want you to give this a thumbs up. If you're watching right now and you haven't given a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up and share it with everyone you know. Not for my sake. I want you to do it for Charlie's sake, because like I said at the beginning of this stream, if you just tuned in, I met Charlie in Washington, D.C. For his Young Black Leadership Summit. And I left that first interaction with him thinking positive things. He was a great man. And I just think it's important to share that, because there's so many people out there hating on him. So many people that basically think, if they're not outright celebrating it, they think he deserved it because he said words they didn't like. And they're like, well, you fuck around and find out. It essentially is what they're saying. It's like they don't have the self-awareness to realize that he said things that they disagree with, and they feel like he deserved to die for that. Like, you know, there's somebody that I'm friends with. I won't name their name, but just because they might even be watching the stream or might find out about it or whatever. But they posted on their social media that Charlie, don't get me wrong, he's a terrible person, but he didn't deserve what he got. I'm like, that's what's the point of that? First of all, what's the point in saying that, as you say, oh, they didn't deserve to die, but they were also a really terrible person? I would ask that person, what makes them a good person? What makes you a good person? Like, list out why you're a good person, because if you're calling somebody a bad person, that implies that you think you're a good person, or at least a better person than them. And, you know, it's just the arrogance of people, the heartlessness of people, the evil. You see people's true colors coming out. You see almost like, I don't know. Like I said, you have to be like under demonic influence to murder someone, of course, but then to celebrate the person's murder. They're not even in the ground yet. But then you celebrate or you worship people that like worse people, like a George Floyd or something. It's ridiculous. I appreciate everybody, though. Let me read through some of these comments here, and then I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I just gotta get back to the family. How you doing, Rachel? Let's see who we got in here. Luciano, long time. It's been a while. Yes, it has been a while. Daisy, DM. Such a tragedy. Yeah, I mean, there's just like, I just have no words, right? I have more thoughts than I do words. Like when I'm riding around in my thoughts, I'm thinking all the things. But when it comes to actually like articulating those thoughts, it's very difficult. I'm not going to get the image out of my mind. Like, I just, seeing his last moments unfold on video was not something that I was prepared for. Let alone his family and people that were the closest to him. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera so much. I should have used my little phone stabilizer thing, the little selfie stick. Someone said, anybody else feel the heaviness in the air? Something changed Wednesday, and we all need to get louder for God. Charlie loved our Lord. Yes, he did. And yes, it does feel different. There's something different. Something spiritual is happening. Spiritual warfare. The enemy is busy. I can tell you that much. Someone said they didn't see the video. Good, and you shouldn't. You honestly shouldn't. Unfortunately, there's no way it could ever be scrubbed from the internet, because as long as someone has downloaded it, people were recording recording live that were actually at the event, it's always, that video is always going to be somewhere on the internet. It's very unfortunate. Just like all other, murders and senseless killings that happen on video. Um, you know what else I want to say too? I know we don't. I guess there's just a lot of speculation on who this killer is. Like, he's been caught, but now people are like digging into his background. Was he liberal? Was he conservative? Was he trans? Was Israel behind it? Was the government behind it? There's all that stuff going on. I'm gonna say this: I still blame the left. The left. This is still the left, no matter how you slice it. Because who's celebrating right now? People on the left. Who thought that he deserved it? People on the left. Why do they think that? Why do they hold the views and opinions that they have of Charlie Kirk? They hold those views because they've been told bad things about him. By who? The media, politicians, people who don't know him, people who've never met him, say these horrible things. And it takes a lazy person to just formulate an opinion without doing their own research or like seeing if it's true. That's why I say the truth is a value. You have to want to know what's real and what isn't. And if you just want to subscribe to a narrative because it feels right or it's authentic to you, that's not valuing the truth, period. And there's too many people that just don't value the truth. They're just lazy. They just want to value a narrative. That's it. And the narrative is he was a racist, white supremacist, hate-filled person. It's false. And that those narratives come from the media. And calling someone Nazi and Hitler every single day for a decade is going to lead to someone thinking that they're doing something noble by taking out a Nazi. Right? It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple if you ask me, and it's not oversimplified. If you call someone a Nazi and say they're a threat to society every single day, well, someone's going to feel like they need to be a vigilante. They need to be a hero and stop the Nazis, right? So they'll feel like they did a good thing. It's like we've demonized capitalism and things like that, and you got that CEO of United Health Group that was assassinated, and now they're naming bills after his shooter. Right? They're seen as a hero. Like, thank you for slaying my enemies. Like, it's sick. It's sick. And that's what I think about the narrative. So I blame the leftists who are now saying, "Oh, this is tragic," and blah blah blah. It's like, spare me. You didn't care. You didn't give that person their flowers while they could smell them. And trying to conflate it. I've also seen people say, like, this is why we need gun control. The irony that he was talking about violence and then he got shot by. It's like they're basically saying, oh, gun control would have saved his life. Look, actually, even if you had gun control and nobody had access to a gun, murder is still illegal, and yet people commit acts of murder all the time, regardless of what their weapon of choice is. This is crazy. It's crazy that I know so many people that actually, I wouldn't say they were celebrating it, but they are clearly, they're not upset that he's gone. They probably feel like, great, one less person that doesn't hold my view. It's great. Pam, how are you doing? I pray you and your family are doing well. Are you still in Minnesota? Yes, I am still in Minnesota for the time being. I don't know where life is going to take me, where the Lord is going to take me and my family next. It just kind of depends. I would like to stay here. It's a beautiful state. It's a great state. Of course, the politics are horrible, but that's not going to I can't let that take away from the actual state, the beauty here, the things you can do here. No tax on groceries or clothing. Those are just some of the perks of living here. Charlie's like Stephen in the Bible, a martyr, but through that Saul met Jesus and became Paul. They just lit a fire for God. Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's essentially it. I'm not going to make this any longer. I just want to say to wrap up. I'm sorry I don't do live streams nearly as much as I would like to, or as much as I should. I feel like if anything, I'm more fired up than ever before to speak truth to power. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I'll ever go back and do public events again. I mean, it's just too crazy now. I mean, I'm Charlie Kirk. We're all Charlie Kirk. They don't want people saying anything that is contrary to their beliefs, and they feel justified in their violence because they think speech is violence. Um, and speaking truth to power would be like, no, violence is violence, speech is speech. But they think speech is violence, and so they want to meet violence in their mind with violence. And you just never know when your time is up, or how it's going to be, how it's going to go down. And I got to think differently now. I have two small children. They can't grow up without a daddy. Not in this world. Not in this world. No way, no how. Um, but I will continue to fight for a better country. I'll just do it in a more low key setting. You'll never see me at a right side event again. I don't think it's happening. Nope. Um, I just can't be out in the public like that. Too unsafe. But anyways, guys, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. Let me read those out really quick before I go. Chrissy, thank you so much for the super chats. Is there a way to filter for the super chats? I see that there's. Here we go. Mr. T says, Mike, I hope all is well. R.I.P. to Charlie Kirk. And Nancy J, thank you for your super chat. Maybe I'll just do impromptu live streams here. There's so much going on that I could absolutely do a live stream about it. It's just I've kind of gotten fatigued. You know what I mean? Like it's like the same shit over and over, right? But I was obviously active last year for the election. Maybe I'll get back to it again. It just won't be the format it was before. Shirley, thank you so much for your super chat. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all of you that have followed me from day one, and those of you that have joined along the way, whether it be from my time at Right Side. Some of you follow me from me going on InfoWars. Some of you found me through my interviews on Fox News, or the time I was on the Mark Levin show. I've made some rounds, and I've met some amazing people that I would not have met if not for Charlie Kirk. If not for Charlie Kirk having that Young Black Leadership Summit, I would have never met Uber Guy, Anthony Bryan Logan, Candace Owens, Charlie himself, Brandon Tatum, so many great patriots, great Americans, just good people that I had a chance to meet in person. Justin Wilson, that's another great friend of mine that I met during my time in politics, like, early on at least. Daisy, thank you for the super chat. You guys are just amazing. I'm just nervous, guys. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm nervous. I'm nervous to go to a big speaking event or any kind of like gathering, especially in a blue state like this where they feel like you should die if you don't share their views. But we're fascists. We're the fascists. It's just crazy. Like, I just nervous, like, who's next? Who do they want to target next? I mean, I don't want to see anybody get hurt from either side of politics. I don't want to see AOC get hurt just because I think she's a moron and she's a crazy leftist. I don't want to see anything bad happen to her. Right? Is that weird to say? Like, I just feel like they think that we're the ones that want to attack them, and like I would never celebrate it if it did happen. But I'm really nervous for people like Ben Shapiro, people like Candace Owens, Alex Jones, people that have loud voices, people that have big followings. I pray for them. I pray for each and every one of you. Is if you're posting on social media, or if you go into a flag waving event, you just never know who the next terrorist is going to be. I pray for my patriots down there in Florida that do those flag waves on the street. They've had more than a few incidents down there. Who's to say someone won't just get in a car and decide to do something crazy as they're standing on the curb? I pray that that never happens, but you can't rule something crazy like that happening. You can't rule it out. Um, Anyhow, I did say that that was it, I keep talking, but that's it, guys. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. God bless you. Please give this a thumbs up. Please share it. God bless Charlie Kirk. We are gonna miss you. You were one of a kind, a true pioneer. You did not deserve to go out like that. I pray for your two small children, your wife, your family, those closest to you that are grieving. Lord, please wrap them in your arms. God bless everybody that's struggling with this, like I am myself too. Like I pray that you are that God is with you as you try to heal and ultimately move on with your lives. That's what we have to do. But we will never forget Charlie Kirk, and I pray that his message just lives on and grows. God bless you guys. I will catch you in the next stream.